The life of Nikola Tesla. In the midst of a raging thunderstorm, on a night in July 1856, Nikola Tesla was born in Smiljan, a small village in the Austro-Hungarian Empire, in what is now Croatia. It is said that as his mother gave birth, thunder clapped across the sky. The midwife, startled by the storm's fury, remarked, "This child will be a child of the storm." But his mother, Milutin, calmly replied, "No, he will be a child of light." And in a way, both were right. Nikola Tesla grew up in a simple family. His father was an Orthodox priest, serious and respected, while his mother, though not highly educated, possessed an unusual talent for invention. She would create small tools to make household chores easier, something that fascinated young Nikola. From an early age, he began to show an extraordinary curiosity about the world around him. While other children played, Tesla envisioned complex machines and solutions to problems adults hadn't even considered. His sharp memory allowed him to read and memorize entire books with accuracy, something that would later become key to his career as an inventor. His youth was filled with visions, not vague dreams, but images so clear he could almost touch them. Nikola had the unique ability to envision inventions complete in his mind before ever building them, something that baffled those around him. He was often lost in thought, oblivious to time while exploring the technological possibilities that lay before him. After completing his basic education, Nikola Tesla decided to study electrical engineering. He enrolled at the Graz University of Technology in Austria, where he quickly became known as an exceptional student. He later continued his studies at the Charles University in Prague. However, Tesla was no ordinary student. Although brilliant, his mind often went beyond the texts provided by his teachers. From a young age, he was drawn to electricity, a phenomenon that at the time was just beginning to be understood. One day, while strolling through a park in Budapest, Tesla had a revelation. He was reading Goethe's poetry when suddenly a vision flashed into his mind: the design of an alternating current motor. At that moment, he understood how electricity could be transmitted more efficiently over long distances. He picked up a twig and sketched the first draft on the ground of what would become one of the most important inventions in modern history. That idea would change the world, though he himself could not have imagined it at the time. In 1884, Tesla decided to emigrate to the United States to seek new opportunities. He crossed the Atlantic Ocean, carrying only a few belongings and big dreams. New York welcomed him with its lights and bustle, a city that at that time was rapidly developing industrially. With a letter of recommendation in hand, Tesla got a job at the laboratory of Thomas Edison, the man who had revolutionized electricity with his direct current system. But not everything was harmonious between these two geniuses. Edison, practical and business-minded, did not share Tesla's vision for alternating current. While Edison bet on direct current, a system that worked well over short distances but required many power plants, Tesla saw alternating current as a way to distribute electricity over long distances efficiently and economically. The difference between them became apparent when Edison refused to pay a promised bonus for improving one of his inventions. It was then that Tesla, disappointed and penniless, decided to quit his job. For a time, Tesla lived in poverty. He was forced to dig ditches to survive, a cruel fate for a genius like him. But fate had a new opportunity in store for him. George Westinghouse, an entrepreneur who was looking for new ways to distribute electricity, saw the potential in Tesla that others had overlooked. He bought Tesla's alternating current patents, and together they began what became known as the War of Currents. On one side, Thomas Edison defended his direct current system, and on the other, Tesla and Westinghouse promoted alternating current. Edison, in a desperate attempt to discredit his rivals, held cruel public demonstrations, electrocuting animals to show the dangers of alternating current. But Tesla's technology ultimately prevailed. In 1893, the Chicago World's Fair was illuminated entirely by the alternating current system, a victory that marked the beginning of the modern electrical era. Despite his success, Tesla was not a man content with his achievements. His mind was always racing. thinking of new, more ambitious ideas and projects. One of his biggest dreams was the wireless transmission of electricity. He envisioned a world where energy could be transmitted without wires, free for all, a concept that at the time seemed like science fiction. To test his theories, Tesla moved to Colorado Springs, where he built a transmission tower. There, he conducted experiments that produced spectacular electrical discharges that lit up the sky. But although his ideas were visionary, he failed to convince investors to fund his project in the long term. Throughout his life, Tesla developed many other innovations that would become the foundation of modern technology. He invented the radio years before Marconi popularized it, and was a pioneer in the use of X-rays. He was also one of the first to experiment with remote control, a technology that is now part of our daily lives. Yet, despite his contributions to human progress, Tesla never received the recognition or wealth he deserved. Over time, financial problems began to haunt him. Although he continued working until the end of his life, his financial situation worsened, and in 1943, Nikola Tesla died alone in a New York hotel room. He died poor, but left behind a legacy that was little understood at the time. Today, Nikola Tesla is remembered as one of the greatest inventors of all time. His work with alternating current changed the way the world uses energy, and many of his visionary ideas, such as wireless electricity transmission, are being revisited in the 21st century. What once seemed impossible is now the basis of scientific research that seeks to realize Tesla's dreams. In every light we turn on, in every technology we use, there is an echo of the genius of Nikola Tesla. His story is about a man who, although misunderstood in his time, left an indelible mark on humanity. His life, filled with sacrifice, passion, and a constant striving for a better future, reminds us that the truly great visionaries are often those who see beyond their time.